I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide of exactly how to build the declaration that you'll perform the 369 on, because the declaration is even more important than the listen 3 times, speak 6 times, read 9 times. First thing I want you to do is I want you to grab a blank piece of paper and I want you to draw a small triangle in the middle of the page, just like this. Now I'm using the front camera, so it's going to be back the front, but the bottom right hand side of that triangle is 0.3. Now this is always passive. Anything to do with the framework that I teach, 0.3, portal 3, that's your passive. That's what you want to receive. At the bottom left hand side of the corner, I want you to write a 6. That's your active part. That's your active portal. That's your active stage. That's who you want to become. That's what you're activating. And at the top of your triangle, you're going to draw a 9. That's your neutralizing portal. And it's going to look like this, but mine's back the front because I'm using the front camera. We are going to use this diagram to build your declaration. Say you've put the number 3. I want you to write down what you want to receive. Do not say I am wealthy, I am all that, okay? Mainstream affirmations don't actually work. It basically tells reality that you've already got it, and reality's like, okay, sick, cool, I'll move on to the next person. We're co-creating with reality, and using the triangle is a really great place to start when you first enter into the 369 and the entire map. At 0.3, this is not the plan, not how you get it, just the destination. Maybe it's, I build a peaceful family, I create a thriving business, I receive financial freedom, I build a healthy body. One declaration, one direction. This is the future you are inviting into your life. To the number 6 on your drawing. This is your active force of the declaration, because once you've decided exactly what you want, you need to ask yourself, who would naturally create this reality? How do they think? How do they communicate? How do they make decisions? What habits do they have? How do they treat themselves? Write those statements here. For example, I keep promises to myself, finish what I start, I make confident decisions, I look for opportunities, I welcome support. These are actions. These are behaviors, because reality doesn't respond to who you wish you were. It responds to who you want to activate and who you want to become. At the top of the triangle, at 0.9, this is the overlooked part in all these mainstream affirmations, because this is your neutralizing force of the declaration. Because every single one of us have patterns: fear, scarcity, self-doubt, people-pleasing, procrastination, old stories. And if you don't invite the invitation to interrupt those patterns in your declaration, you'll keep building tomorrow's future on yesterday's programming. So ask yourself, what keeps pulling me back? Then write statements like, I release the belief that I have to struggle. I no longer need fear to keep me safe. I let go of hesitation. I release old versions of myself. I choose progress over perfection. This isn't pretending that those patterns don't exist. It's consciously choosing to not let them write your future. It's really important to understand that a lot of our programs are extremely deeply embedded into our human psyche, into our soul. Most of them are generational. And that's why I created Master Magical Keys. I'll put a link to them here in this caption with an example on how to do this. They break that loop instantly. But you always want to add it in your declaration because you want to invite the opportunity for you and reality to kind of push through this together, to co-create exactly what it is that you want. Now that you have all three, you're going to build them into a powerful declaration. But doing this first gives you an opportunity to pull it apart and work with a symbol, which is the triangle. It is a powerful symbol that just hasn't been given enough credit. I mean, the 1% and the elite are always throwing triangles up at us because they use passive, active, and neutralizing forces to create things. So in the caption, I've given you the full step-by-step in words, a declaration to use. Grab your phone. Once you build it, grab your phone, record yourself saying it when you have time, okay? Because I do recommend that you listen 3 times, speak 6 times, read 9 times, one after the other. And make sure you keep a tally. Write down, listen, speak, read, and every time you listen, just tally because you get lost in the whole process, okay? When you have time, listen 3 times, speak 6 times, read 9 times. What's immediately going to happen is pretty much straight away, if not in 24 hours, whatever, you'll start to see coincidences. Now, it takes a while for you to believe in this magic because it's reality, so it's not like poof, magic just appears out of nowhere. It's going to show you coincidences. And in the very next stage after declaring, it's tools, resources, and support. Pick every little thing up that shows up into your reality. Use that, because when you're in stage 2, it builds your stage 9, which is your inheritance. Every week I'm going to upload more and more content on here for all my subscribers. I sound so influential, my subscribers. But this is the very first place to start. How to declare.